Uh, Good afternoon, good evening, good morning to all of you. I have with me Mrs. Rasaiah. She's like us, like me, part of Sri Lanka as a citizen, and she's a businesswoman. She's a mother. She's everything, I would say. And I invited her to share her thoughts about what is going on in the country, in her opinion, because I think all of us, each of us have something that we think about when we look at our country, or we feel where we feel for our nation. And right now there's so much happening. And I just want to, I've been getting a cross section of society to talk to me about what their thoughts are. So here is this businesswoman, it's a friend of mine, and I want to hear her thoughts about what is going on in the country. So over to you. What do you think? What can you say about the present situation? Because I also saw you in the protests. So, it'll be good to hear from you.
Yes, why I went to the protest that day was I was actually feeling very guilty that we always drive through. We just drive through just to find out what's going on. And then also I live near the parliament and I hear these students shouting on top of their voices for demanding the resignation of this president here until about 3 o'clock in the morning. And I thought here we are sleeping comfortably and these children are out there screaming. And then that's what took me there. And also, if you ask about business, well, that is, it's basically coming to a standstill because all we are in the business of importing and distributing educational equipment to the universities and students. And so 3-4 months ago, because of the issues with no dollars in the bank, they have stopped sending all our TTs, LCs. So I'm afraid that in about 2-3 months that everything, our income would be stopping. We just have some reserves. We can go until about 2 months. And then it's going to be a very sad story. We actually don't know. We don't know what's going to happen. Because still there's nothing. Nothing actually. Nobody confirms as to what's going to happen. It's just dilly-dally stories.
In your opinion, I mean, it's a travesty because I think there are a lot of people like you. Even when I look at my own life, since COVID, I haven't been able to do a proper business. And with all of this happening, people are afraid they don't have the finance, so it's hard. It's hard on everyone. Now, you said that you went to see the protesters. You want to be part of it. What is the vibe, or what was the message you got just standing with them and, protesting or, waving the flag? Or what did you feel? What was your first impression? And what do you think could happen, or what would be, do you think would be the outcome of this protest?
Well, living in Sri Lanka, although I'm a Tamil, I love the Sinhalese people. 90% of our friends are Sinhalese. Of my friends are Sinhalese. We get on very well with them. And basically, a country like Singapore, the Malaysian, the Chinese look very different to the Tamils there. But then it's all equal. Here, you cannot even tell between a Sinhalese and a Tamil. But still, we have these problems, these issues, caste, creed, religion, and all that. So the first thing I saw was, this was my prayer for a long, long, long time, that the people should realize what they are doing. It's actually hurtful to hear people initially, those days, like with the riots, and the Tamil people I can see are really hurt. And I also see some of my Tamil people still reluctant to even comment. And, like whoever has signatory, it's like, serves you right sort of attitude, I think. But it was electrifying. The atmosphere was great in front of the parliament. We went there. Every time I was waving the flag, I was thanking the Lord for the victory he was giving. And I really, really have to thank the now regime for putting us all together. That's something they have done, and that's great. It's like revolutionizing the country, and I'm so happy to see that everybody coming together, sharing food. And when did that ever happen in this? Sometimes I stand there and think, am I dreaming or is this really happening? So that was really good.
Yeah, so actually, I mean, in my books, I think the eyes of the people have opened for the first time. Because you hear all these stories about sorcery being done over the people, so the people could really not function. Because I mean, if you know, one of the things that we would hear all the time was the voters need to think how they vote, and they are the ones who put these people into parliament. And so why were the voters voting for a regime that was dividing us? But suddenly something has shifted, and like you said, the nation has come together against a wicked, evil regime that has divided us and ruled us, so that they could be, I mean, they could loot and steal and, do whatever they wanted. But like you said, Kumu, I mean, I am excited that, the nation has come together. So, okay, so now this is the present situation. People are protesting. We are also going in and out of the protests. I have been protesting in my neighborhood also. When they said come to Independence Square, we're going there. In fact, today I was told that tomorrow at 8:41 they are going to Kiri Utturanda at Independence Square. So we're thinking of going. So we are all on the same page. But now we still have a huge red elephant, or I don't know what you call the rock of Gibraltar that we have to move, and that is the government. What do you think should happen? I mean, maybe you know the law, maybe we may not know the law like some people, but in your opinion, do you think these all the protesters, we are saying this regime has to go? Right, that's the message, not only in Sri Lanka, but from England, from Canada, from France, from Italy, from Houston, from everywhere, right? So why do you think they are not going? And do you really think they should go?
That's a difficult question for me, because I actually am not very familiar with the political, although I love to watch what's going on in Parliament. I mean, that will be a good move, because if that's what the people want, all of them have to leave. And then maybe we get to choose. The people unitedly get to choose whom they want to be in there. That might be the best thing. And that's what would bring victory to all these protesting, I think. So the people have to have their way. Only then everybody would get a message that that's what it is. Even that's what's going to be in the future. Because if we sort of just let go at this point, then there is like we are just giving in sort of. So I think it's the best thing for them to go, leave, as the protesters and the nation wants them to do, and then choose the best out of the worst lot.
Yeah, but there is, like, constitutionally, there are a lot of things that have to be done. You can't just, choose who you want. Like, I want to choose this monitor in my school for this day. It doesn't happen. Okay, so everyone's saying we need to let them go. We need them to leave. But if you were in their shoes, for example, if I was in their shoes, when you hear somebody saying, we want you out, go, 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 would you hang on unless you have ulterior motive? Or, I mean, why do you think they are hanging on, digging their heels in and refusing to go? Do you have any idea?
I think that's a very easy question, because they are not leaving, because as soon as they leave, then according to some 20th Amendment, he is powerless and no protection. So then he's just going to be like an ordinary person. He's going to be taken to task. So I actually, on that term, I really feel sympathy towards them. And that's exactly why they can't leave. They wouldn't. If it was me, I wouldn't leave. I mean, that's frightening, isn't it? Most of them are in that situation, and that's why they are not going, I think.
Yeah, because there are lots of court cases that they have come out of, or, crept out of. They have so much, there's so many court cases more to be added to their list because of the embezzlements, the wicked things they have done. So definitely they won't leave because they will have no protection and they can go straight to jail. But if you look at any revolution, the recent revolutions in, say, for example, Iraq, or even, Lebanon, or wherever, whatever these nations are, you see the Gaddafis, family rule was pulled down and destroyed. Wherever there was a family that ruled for years, they were brought down, and they were stripped of their wealth. Even if you look at Saddam Hussein and his family, the Husseins, you see, these type of things never last, because the people have been robbed of their rights, the people have been robbed of their liberties, the people have been robbed of their finances. And today we are in a situation where everybody's, finding it very difficult, and especially parents with children. So, so I guess the answer is, we need this family to go. But then who else should come in there? Because personally, I think, a majority in parliament are corrupt. What do you think?
Who should be coming in? Somebody who is truthful, has a conscience. I really don't know. It's difficult to answer that questions because I don't see any. But they also have to be like powerful, and I can't comment on that because I really don't know. But I don't know. I'm just, I don't know. For me, I'm just praying that God's will be done, that He knows best. Because again, our best might not be His best.
But okay, you're talking about God and all of these things. Don't you think that God gave this country this leader for this time?
I believe in that, although it's difficult. That's how the people have realized nobody could have taught a better lesson to all of us. So we had to learn it the hard way, I think.
Yeah, I really believe that if we are saying that God brought this leader in because that's what the Christians talk about, then it was a time we had to learn a lesson that this family has robbed us, has cheated us, has raped the country, and embezzled funds, stolen so much, and become rich on the people's hard-earned sweat and toil, and today the people are starving while they are in luxury. So definitely the only way to have got rid of them was for the eyes of the people to open when their stomachs began to hurt. When we have, of course, I never voted for them, but I know I have friends who voted for them, and now they're regretting having voted for them because they thought that they would do a good job. But, corrupt people will never do a good job. Somewhere or the other, they will continue to be corrupt. They'll continue to steal. You could see from day one, they lied their way through the campaigns and came to where they are. So you were trying to say, well, this is the sort of leader we need. But when you look at our people and our nation, in your books, how would you I mean, what is your opinion, or what type of charactered person should lead this nation?
Somebody, but I think there should be lots of people out there, but I don't know how to. I think we'll have to cut it here.